Welcome. I'm in my shop, sitting in my 76 Plymouth Fury Gran Fury station wagon, and I'm going to finally attempt to finish fixing the AC heater vent of this. You can see I've taken apart the dashboard. It's pretty dirty. Had to take off the plastic things for these A-pillars, and they cracked into a million pieces, so I'll have to figure out what the best option is to fix that. But right now the problem is nothing works for the heater AC. If I can at least get the vent to work today, I will be happy. So I took all the dash apart, got sidetracked by trying to fix the speakers. The radio kind of works in here. The speakers were shot, so I got new speakers in there. The radio still sounds like crap. It sounds better, but it still sounds like crap. A number of pieces of trim broke when I took the dashboard out, so the dashboard has definitely seen better days. The entire dash pad's all cracked. I'm going to attempt to fix that as well. I really want to keep the color because part of the reason I have this wagon is nostalgia. It reminds me so much of the one I had in high school that I caused all sorts of problems with and has lots of great memories. So I don't plan on keeping this original, other than the fact that I really like the color of the dashboard. It brings me back to my teenage days. I believe this is my problem. I don't know that for a fact, but I have my power probe here with me, and I'm going to basically stab electricity into these various plugs here until I figure out which one goes to the vent or the vent fan, and see if I can get the blower motor to at least turn on. If I can at least get that to turn on, I know that my problem is probably in that the head unit that I was just holding in my hand, and then I can try to troubleshoot that. It doesn't look like there's much to this. It's just a big old resistor and a bunch of vacuum tubes. I know that I get vacuum out of the vacuum hose because this thing runs like crap without it connected. See if we can focus in on that. So while the car is running, one of these has a vacuum. I don't know how many is supposed to have vacuum, but at least one does. And that's probably enough. I'm pretty sure one is the vacuum feed, and then everything else goes to different vent controls. I don't think that the problem lies there. It could. I'm assuming it's an electrical gremlin that someone probably didn't look like too many people have been inside this dashboard patching into things, but that's what I think I'm going to end up finding. That, or a loose connection, or a loose ground somewhere. Or it could be a blown blower motor. It could be that most of the system's working, but you can't tell because the blower motor doesn't turn on. So first troubleshooting is going to be to see if randomly jamming power into these cords is going to provide me with a blower that works. Okay, I found out a few things. That I have voltage coming from a lot of these. So I think I've got plenty enough voltage coming to the, I guess we'd call it the head unit. And then if I inject voltage into what currently doesn't have any voltage, nothing happens. This, the blower comes on, or it came on for a second and it blew a little bit, but I think the blower's shot. So there's nothing here. If I add voltage to it, it's going directly to ground or something. I'm not getting 12 volts. So I should be able to get 12 volts when I do this. So right now, nothing. I inject voltage into it. I'm not getting anything. So I think I need to now pull the blower, or test this directly at the blower. So that means I get to climb underneath all there. Good chance to clean out all the evidence of mice. Doesn't sound like fun. So I'll get back once I climb underneath there. No one needs to see a fat guy climbing underneath the dashboard. Alright, digging into it a little bit more. Found this relay. I need to go test to make sure this relay works, but even after removing this relay and injecting power into the other side of the relay cables, I could not get any fan or anything to kick on. So I'm going to continue. It looks like I have to remove this lower portion of the dash to get to anything, and it's pretty dirty down there anyway, so that's fine. I'll take that apart and see what I can find. Okay, that's out. It wasn't as hard as I was expecting it to be. A little crusty underneath there. Time to clean this up. Opportunity to clean up, paint it, make it survive a little longer. Alright, got a little more room now that that's out. Key thing is remembering how to put it all back together. I am really glad I have these little magnetic screw holder thingies. Thank you, Harbor Freight. So now the key is, what do I actually have to do to get this out? I got more room. I think I have to start down here, taking this access. It's not much of an access box, but taking that off first and see where it gets me. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of surgery on my dashboard. I put in these toggle switches, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for, but it covers up a giant hole that was in the dash left over by a temperature gauge that I did not want in the middle of my passenger side. So now I figure I'll rig up some fog lights or something to these, or maybe connect some sort of accessories. I've pre-wired them so I don't have to reach back and take the dashboard apart if I want to get them. I'm also doing surgery on the top. I had this big old crack in it, and another smaller crack. I've decided that what I'm going to do is gut this out, and I got this at Harbor Freight. It's got had three magnets on it. I'm going to insert it here, so I now have a place to put like cell phone mounts and things like that might not stick onto the crappy plastic. I left the center magnet in there. I may cover that up a little bit. I don't think there's anything underneath here that a magnet's going to affect, but we'll find out. I'll remove the magnet if that's the case. But I was thinking I don't need three magnets in there. Having the center one be magnetic is good enough. I kind of banged it up a little bit, getting the other magnets off, but yeah, I don't care. So I'm using my Dremel to slowly cut this out, and then I'm going to insert this here, and then I'll probably use a little bit of epoxy on that crack. There's another crack down here that I think I'll clean up a little bit with the Dremel, and then use some epoxy there. And there's little tiny weird things here and there. I figure if I screw this up, I have another one up here. It's just the wrong color. It has a few minor issues with it, but for the most part, there's nothing wrong with that one. So if I have to, I can switch to that one. But I think I like the rocker arms. I just don't know what I'm going to connect them to yet. I have this box of fog lights that I was going to use for another project I didn't end up using. I'm not good at returning stuff. And maybe I'll rig up the, I'm not sure where I want to, the Wagon's over there. I'm not sure where I want to put these fog lights or whatever you call them, LED lights. maybe I can find a place on the roof rack that won't look stupid and it won't be a pain to run cables to. Either that or they're all going to go up underneath the grill somewhere. Okay, some cleanup to do, but it's sitting pretty flush. I don't think I can get the front down any further. I don't want to cut the plastic more than I have. There might be a little more to clean up here, but I think that is going to be good enough. Got that in there. It's like right on the edge of the magnet's kind of right above where the radio sits, and if I have to, I can get rid of that magnet. I don't need the magnet there, or maybe just move it over to here. So, I'm going to fill this up with some sort of whatever I have. I may put fiberglass in there. I'm not sure how fiberglass is going to go with this. This plastic is really brittle. It's cracked in a whole place, bunch of places the camera probably can't see. But I think that is going to not be nice. It's almost centered, and I wasn't even planning on that. I just wanted to cover this crack. So I'll go ahead and fill that up, and I think whatever I use to fill it up will be the same stuff I use to glue it down. I have various gluing fluids or gels and other various stuff, and we'll see what's not dried up, and hopefully we don't have to go to the store. The worst case, I have a can of fiberglass Bondo that I have not opened yet, so I could do that. I'll YouTube it first to see if that's that you could put in Bondo over plastic. I don't think I'm making this any worse than I already have. Definitely taking a turn towards a resto mod rather than a restoration, which is fine. I'm hoping to get this dash put back in the car today. I've got another set of speakers for the rear, and I have a new stereo that I'm going to have to not only create my own adapter cables for it, I also need to build a mounting kit for it, because I could not find any mounting kit for this style car, this age car, and I probably didn't really expect it. But I got a bunch of scrap metal laying around. I should probably be able to make something, and hopefully I can even make it look like it. Well, it'll never look like it fit in there, but it looks like it's not terrible. Well, it's been a couple weeks. I had to wait for some parts, and I was bored and working on other things. I am ready to start reassembling this. I got the AC heater vent thing fixed, and I installed a cheapy Walmart radio while I was at it. Got some new speakers, put new speakers in the back, and only semi-scratched up the interior, trying to get the old plastic out. I might scuff that back up and spray paint it a little bit. I've got a color brown that kind of matches, not quite. So these A-pillar plastic columns kind of just shattered when I took them out, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do here, but my goal for today is to get the dash back and assembled, and then start working on the engine and the transmission again. Well, I got the bottom half of the dash reinstalled. So the switch is not returning to the off position. It's supposed to go down and then come back. It kind of comes back, but not all the way. And so you have to kind of help it a little bit. And so this is the last thing I need to do to fix, to assemble my dash. Because once I put the dash back in, I can't get to this switch. And I don't want to take the whole dashboard out. A new one of these on eBay is $80. I'm not spending $80 on a switch. Basically, when it's pushed down, two circuits connect to each other, and then when it released, it's supposed to turn off, and what it does is it stays on. So I'm going to take this apart again and see if I can clean it or replace the spring. Okay, this is what it looks like disassembled. We have the switch, which is just a plastic part that goes through this metal piece. And you can see it goes up and down like that. It sits into this little sled. And the sled's got this little piece of metal on the back. And when that slides up and down, it covers these. So if it slides down, it should connect the bottom two. And it slides up, it connects the top two. So when I put this back together and it's up, these two should have continuity, and then when it's down, these here should have continuity. So what keeps the little plastic sled pushed up against this is this spring. Now the spring was junk that was in here, so I took and found a spring and cut it to size, and it seems to have enough pressure to push that up against that. You can see that the slide is small. The sled's small enough that it should only connect two sets at any one time. And I think what's happening is it's stopping there, and I'm kind of getting connectivity between all four. What I want it to do is stop there when it's in the off position and slide down here to the on position. So I'll also clean this up a little bit. I scratched it with some sandpaper. This spring seems to be fine, so I'm going to continue using that spring. But that's also the spring that returns it to the top position. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble it. And I don't have a stand for my phone, so I can't record while I'm working because I need both hands. I got the whole dash installed. Radio's working. Get on some sports thing because I don't want to be hit by copyright. Accessories work. They're not wired to anything yet because I haven't figured out what accessories I want. Battery's low. It's 11.2 volts right now. I'm not running the car. I gotta put the ashtray back in. I gotta mount the CB. But for the most part, it's there. And I want to pretty up this thing here. It definitely doesn't sit flat, which I didn't realize. But I now have a place for, I guess, coins and stuff. That's where I'm going to put my cell phone mount, so it's nice, and it'll mount to that really well. Got a little USB port here. I did wire this to always on, which I need to fix. So that's what I'm going to do next, is jump in here and rewire this to be only on with the accessories. And once I get that, then I will take her out for a test drive. I'll also mount my CB. The speaker that came with the CB for the PA is way too big to fit underneath the hood. So either I'm going to get a smaller one, or I'm mounting it on the roof, a Blues Brothers style. I still don't know what I'm going to do with these A-pillars. The plastic cracked when I took them off. I may just paint them brown real quick, but not today. So I'm happy. Dash is back in. Not too many screws left over. I kind of patched the thing, and I need to sand that and then spray paint it again. Same over there. This big crack here was the main reason I put in this metal insert here. I'm assuming that's probably going to heat up. I put a little USB port here so I can plug my dash cam or my cell phone mount right there. So that would be handy. Overall, pretty happy with it. Didn't have too many screws left over. This accessory thing here blocks a giant hole that someone had put in here for a temp gauge. I'm probably going to mount the CB to the bottom of this glove box. It doesn't open very far anyway. Pretty sure that's where I had mine when I was in high school. It was either that or I had it mounted to the floor. So I could mount this to the floor as well. It should work. I have it plugged in. I don't even know how to turn this on. How do you turn this thing on? Well, it's hard to do anything with two hands, or with one hand. Let's see. Does this do something? No, it's probably one of these switches. So, not sure. Maybe it's this? I have no idea how to turn this on. Oh, there we go. So, CB should work. Apparently I'm on channel 9. So, good old Cobra. So, I like to mount that like right there. That'd be nice. Right there, out of the way. Doesn't hit my knee. Okay. I'll go do all that and be back. Well, here we go with everything put back together. I'm going to take her for a quick ride. Got the CB all set up and mounted. I haven't put the ashtray back in. Radio works. Auxiliary switches work. I haven't connected them to any auxiliaries yet. Got the CB mounted. I'm charging my phone through the little USB port I installed up there. Place to mount the phone while I'm driving. Let's see what happens if I just do this.